first step to properly install the HP48 USB cable is to install the Windows driver. Before we install the Windows driver, we will have to access the Windows Device Manager under Windows 10. And to do that, we go to the Start button and do a right click. And we select the option Device Manager. Once under Device Manager, we will see all of the devices attached to the computer. For example, if I try to connect the USB cable to the computer at this moment, it will be recognized by Windows. However, it is listed under the devices that do not have a driver. We continue to install the Windows 10 driver, but first we have to unplug the cable. As we can see from the Windows Device Manager, we don't have the cable listed anymore. So we proceed to the installation of the driver, and the driver has already been placed at the desktop. It is in zip format. You may need to install a compressor, decompressor software for zip files. The one that we have installed is the 7-zip program, which is available free on the internet. So we proceed to do a right click on the zip file for the driver, and we're going to extract it to the folder that is labeled here. So once the driver is extracted, we can see it at the desktop. We open the folder by double clicking it, and we see two versions of the driver. We see the x86, which is the 32-bit version of the driver, and we see the x64, which is the 64-bit version of the driver. In this case, we know that our system is 64-bit, so we will proceed to install that version of the driver, the 64-bit version. So we just do a double click, and Windows is asking for permission, and we say yes. We continue with the driver installation by pressing next, and it seems that the driver has been installed successfully under Windows 10. We click finish. So now that the driver has been installed successfully, we continue to plug the cable to the computer, and once again we have to check under Windows Device Manager. So under Windows Device Manager, now we see that there is a device called Ports, COM and LPT, and under that option we have listed the cable that it has the correct driver installed, and we have Windows automatically assign a COM4 number, meaning COM port number 4. And this is the COM port number that we're going to use once we do the installation of the HP connectivity software version 4. The next step is to set the HP48 to transfer via wire and print via wire. So let's turn on our HP48. Once at the main screen, we press the right shift key and we press the key that says CSD or modes. Under the calculator modes, we go to the key that is assigned to flags. Once at the system flags, we go to flag 33. So we press 3 and that is going to take us to flags 33, and right now is set to transfer via IR, but we uncheck it, and right there we see transfer via wire, and over here flag 34 it says print via IR, so we have to check it, and now it says print via wire. So once that is done, 33 transfer via wire, 34 print via wire, we press OK, and once again OK. Now that the HP48 is set to transfer via wire and print via wire, we have to check on the transfer speed. The way we do that is by pressing that right shift key and the key that says 1 for IO. Once we press that, we get these options, and we scroll down to the option that says transfer, and we press OK. Once at the transfer screen, we can see that the port is wire, the format is ASC, we leave it like that. The option that says baud is the speed rate, so we just leave it at the maximum, which is 9600. Just press OK there, and the rest says parity none, the overflow is not checked, checksum is 3. It's just fine like that. So we just press enter, and at the main screen we are going to see a variable that says IOPAR, and once we take the value of that, that is what it's supposed to look like, you know, to have the speed set to 9600, and that is good like that. In this step we are installing the HP Connectivity Software version 4 that we have downloaded and placed at the desktop. Since this software is not 100% compatible with Windows 10, we have to run it under a compatibility mode. The way you access the compatibility mode is by doing a right click and go to the properties option. Then once we see these properties option, we go to the compatibility tab, and under here we can check run this program in compatibility mode 4, and then we select Windows XP Service Pack 3. Once we have selected that, we press OK to apply the compatibility mode. Once the compatibility mode has been applied to the program, we continue to the installation process. You can do double click, or you may need to run it as an administrator. So to access the administrator option, you do a right click and then run as an administrator. Just say yes to the Windows 10 option there. The program is extracting all files to be installed to the computer. We continue by pressing next, accepting the terms, next. Everything there looks default, and we just press next. If you want shortcuts to the start menu, you can select it or not. Create a shortcut to the desktop, add a shortcut to the quick launch bar. I'm just gonna do the create shortcut to the desktop, and then next, and one more next here, and the program is being installed. The setup has finished. We can say no, do not launch it yet, and complete it. Once the program has been installed successfully, we can see the icon at the desktop, and we didn't get any errors from the installation through Windows 10. So we now continue to run it. However, before doing that, because there may be some compatibility issues with Windows 10, we once again have to apply the compatibility mode. And the way we do it is to do a right click on the icon of the program, go to Properties, and go to Compatibility tab. Under the Compatibility tab, we see the Compatibility mode option, and we select it, and we select the Windows XP Service Pack 3. We apply it and we press OK. So now we can run it, and it will be run under a compatibility mode. So we double click, and Windows 10 is asking for permission. We say yes. This HP connectivity software version 4 works specifically with the XMODEM protocol. The HP48 series of graphing calculators did not come equipped with the XMODEM server, so that's an addition we have to install to the HP48 first before we can do automatic transfer of files, and that is going to be the next step. We proceed to connect the cable to the data port and just apply a little bit of pressure to be sure that there is a metal-to-metal contact with the cable plug so that we can have a reliable transfer of files. As we can see here, the HP48 is connected to the cable, and the cable is connected to the USB port on the computer, and we are ready to do the manual transfer of the XMODEM library that is going to be installed to the HP48. So now, to do the manual transfer of the XMODEM library to the HP48, we go to the HP connectivity software, and we select Conn4 and the speed to 9600, and we go to File and select the option that says Download HP48 Server Manual X Receive. Once we are at this window, we see 3 steps. Step 1, it says type Alpha X on the HP48, so that's what we do here. Press the Alpha key, and then the X letter. We press Enter, and the second step, it tells us to do a left shift IO next X receive. That is what we do on the HP48. We do left shift the number 1 IO, and from that menu we press next, and over here we see the command that says X receive and is assigned to this key. So we press that, and the transfer of the library is happening. It went really fast, and it's supposed to be at the X variable because that's the name we gave to receive the file. So we press bar variables, and it's right there. It's at the X. From the steps given by the connectivity software, we go to the HP48, and we had already pressed the BAR key, the bar key, and we see the X variable here, and we press X, and we can see that on the screen we have a library 1026, and it is for the X server. So now we have to save it to, in this case, to port 0 of the HP48. So we type 0, enter, and then we have to do a STO, store. So as you saw from the screen, it disappeared. So it installed the library to the port 0. And now to activate the library, we have to turn off the HP48. So we turn it off by right key off. And now we turn it on, and the library got installed. The way to access the library is by pressing the right key, the right shift key, and pressing number 2, which is library. And from here we can see that that's the only library that we have at the moment, and it says XSRVR, X server. So we press that, and then we have the Xserve. So we press that too, and now as we can see from the screen, we have successfully installed the XMODEM server for the HP48. Now that we have the XMODEM server installed in the HP48, we can do automatic data transfer. And the way we do it is that we leave the HP48 in the XMODEM server screen, and we go to the HP connectivity program. Let's just get rid of these instructions here, and we go to this icon that says quick connect to the calculator. So we click on that, and we will start to see some movements here, and we can see that the HP connectivity software already accessed all the folders and files inside the memory of the HP48. For example, inside this G1 folder or directory, we have a game called Diamonds, and that's about 13 kilobytes. So if we do want to transfer that game to our computer, in this case we are going to do a drag and drop of the file. So we click on it, we drag it, and we let it go at the desktop, and the transfer starts. And as we can see here, the HP48 is transferring the file. You see the activity LEDs on the cable, and it's about done. The file got transferred here to the desktop. Now that we have a copy of the file at the desktop, we can delete it from the HP48 memory. We just do a right click on the file and select the option delete, and it got deleted from the HP48. So now if we want to transfer the file back again to the HP48, we can just do a copy paste of the file that is at the desktop. We do a right click, copy, and we paste it to the directory in the HP48, and the transfer begins, and we can see that the HP48 is receiving the file automatically, and the activity LEDs on the cable are going on off, and the file got transferred, and we have a copy of the file back again in the HP48 memory. And that is how the automatic transfer of files happens if and only if the XMODEM server is installed in the HP48 working with the HP connectivity software version 4.